Biden to let Ukraine use U.S. weapons to strike Russia. How will this change the war?
Well, it'll change it because the war is going to come to our front door.
The United States has authorized Ukraine to use American-made weapons for strikes within Russian territory, specifically targeting forces involved in Moscow's offensive in Ukraine's Kharkiv region. This decision, approved by President Joe Biden, marks a departure from Washington's previous stance. We look at the reasons behind this policy change and whether it will have a significant impact on the war.
Yeah, because Vladimir Putin came out and he said, if Ukraine uses anybody's other country's weapons, whatever country's weapons fly over here, I'm sending missiles to y'all. And Biden was like, bet.
I mean, I'm happy somebody's finally said something to him, because this is all he does. He threatens nuclear war. This is what he does every single time. So at this point in time, we don't see the big play. In 2008, he went and commandeered land within Georgia. Georgia is a former Soviet formerly part of the Soviet Union. They broke away in 91 or thereabouts, and they created their own country after the Soviet Union failed. They had a region called it's basically say you have like New Jersey. It's called the South Ossetia. It's the South Ossetia region. They were made up of a bunch of different kind of regions that kind of came together into one. And they had another region like within the northern part of their country up here along, I think it's along the Black Sea, or one of the seas along there. I think it's the Black Sea. And they separated, kind of. They went to war with Georgia. And so what Russia did was they sent troops into those countries and kind of like created like separatist regions within their own countries. So they basically helped fund civil wars within old Russian bloc countries. So that was in 2008. Then I think in 2014 is when they went and they took over Crimea. What happened was the same exact thing. The government kind of voted to leave, break away from Ukraine, and then Russia starts sending in these people in black fatigues.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, our green suits, it might have been the green men. I think that's what it might have been. They might have been in green suits, but they went in there and they kind of took over the region, and that's how they took over, ended up taking Crimea. So this has been going on for a while. There's a lot of other regions that are afraid of this starting to happen. So I mean, at the end of the day, we can't blame America for allowing them to start striking in their region, because we know what their intent is. Their intent is to take back all old Russian, like that's Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, all these countries that are now part of NATO are the next countries they're going to have to strike to get back the land that they lost.
Trying to go back to the old USSR.
They have to do this, and if they attack those countries are NATO countries. We have a written agreement, a signed treaty with all these countries that an attack on one is an attack on all. So that means we have to go to war with them. So that means American troops will have to go over there. So,
and that's one thing I liked about Donald Trump. He was like, look, some of these countries ain't even got armies. Why are we defending them? They need to pay more. That made sense. I was like, yeah, I mean, Donald Trump, he is who he is, but he made some valid points about that. It's like, why are we defending these countries that don't have an army? If you ain't got an army, you need we need 40% of everything you got. I'm saying though, you want my protection. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure we'd hate for something to boom happen here to you.
But these countries have armies, but their armies are very minimal. They have very small armies. Like right now, they said that they only at 5% where they could actually protect like the whole east, like that whole side near Poland, all the countries.
And you ain't got no protection. You just got a whole bunch of people to get shot.
5% air protection that they can actually fight off if Russia were to send in.
And then airplanes. That makes me so mad about living in Washington.
Jets.
My bad, I cut you off.
You're good.
Because they only allow us to have 8 shots in our gun. We can't have big guns anymore. So if you're out of luck, you can only have 10-round magazines. We got
to go back and repeal that law. That law needs to be repealed.
Yeah, it needs to be repealed. We don't have school shootings out here. People are here. I mean, you have some crime. There's a lot of gun crime, but they need to just step on the criminals harder. I hate to change the subject.
And you're good.